Hello folks, in this video I want to talk to those of you who have been bitten by the productivity bug. If you have been feeling recently that you have been overwhelmed with stuff that you have to do, and also in the moments of laziness you have been experiencing this desire and need to stand up and go and do things, otherwise fill in the blank, this is going to be the video for you. You might have probably experienced this suffering that accompanies this feeling of I have to do something, I just can't stand or sit there in vain. I have to do stuff, right? And I want to draw your attention to this need to produce that may actually be quite detrimental in your experience. This need to produce disguises a need that haven't been met in your experience healthily. And today we're going to discover what that need is so that you can go and meet that need in a healthy fashion. So do this little experiment with me. In the comment section down below or in your reflection journal, please write down this beginning, this opening. I have to produce or else, and fill in the blank. I'll repeat. I have to produce or else, and then you fill in the blank. Here is what it will look like for me. I have to constantly produce, or else I will not feel needed. I have to constantly produce, or else I won't feel significant. I have to constantly produce, or else I won't measure up to my peers. And once you have that sentence, see what is the need that you're actually not meeting. What is that need that constantly surfaces for you that you cannot meet? For instance, in the example, I have to constantly produce or else I won't feel important. There is a need that is hidden under that utterance, which is I want to feel important. So if I were you, if I were in that position, I would write that statement just underneath the initial statement. I want to be important. I have a need to be important. And then I would question myself, why do I feel a need to feel important? And the obvious response to that question is because I don't feel important. So I have to constantly create situations in which I feel important or in which I feel significant. Because if I create a situation in which I feel significant, that will actually make me believe that I'm significant. And then the next question I would ask myself is, what happens if I don't feel significant? And I would probably travel down to my childhood. And the response to that question might be something like, if I don't feel significant, I'm lonely. Perhaps my only way of relating to people is gaining significance. Perhaps I found myself in a situation when I was 5 years old, when everybody was praising me due to an impact that I had in my social group or something that made me feel valued and needed. And I wasn't able to create value or the understanding that I'm valued and worthy in life later on, up until this day, where I didn't feel significant. So for instance, I don't have a referential experience of someone wanting to be with me or valuing me just for who I was or who I am. So I had to associate being with another person with a sense of significance. Therefore, I've been trying to create and accumulate and raise significance in my life so that I could be around people. And if I don't feel significant, I'm lonely. And being lonely for a social species equals death. So if I'm lonely, I will die, right? So if I don't feel significant, I will die. So I try to create significance for myself. See how that applies to your example. Actually, by doing this exercise, we can figure out a need that is missing from our experience, that hasn't been met by other people or by us in our experience. And once we figure out that need, we can go ahead and try to create the fulfillment of that need in a healthy fashion. So if my need is to be accepted for who I am, I'd rather go and find people who are happy to be around me just for who I am. I'd rather go and find a social group that values me for my being, not for someone I have to strive to be around them. I wouldn't go to a group of punks, for instance, and try to be a punk and try to forge and mold myself into a punk if I don't feel there is anything punkish about myself. I'd rather go and find a group of people who are on the same page as me, and those people would be actually happy to have me in their company. And I would feel happy and fulfilled being around them without having a constant need to create significance around myself. Just to repeat, the core of this exercise is the following. You write down, I have to produce all the time, or else, and you fill in the blank. You can leave your responses in the comments below, or you can keep them to yourselves. And I hope that helps you figure out a need that you're missing. And go ahead directly for meeting that need and feeling happier in your life experience. Have a good day.